How you doing, parents of next-gen kids? I'm glad to be speaking with you today. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jake. I'm in charge of the Next Generation Ministry that ministers to 6th through 8th grade kids. So we've been having a good time this year. We've been going through the Gospel Project. I hope your kids have been enjoying that, and they've been learning things and growing and becoming more mature and more capable in articulating their faith and understanding what it is. But the real reason that I'm talking to you today is that I have a very, very special announcement, something that is very exciting for me, that I'm just pumped to do. And so let's get into it. So what we're going to be doing is I'll be teaching a 6-week class on the Shema. So the Shema, as it's known, is the passage of Scripture in Deuteronomy 6, 4 through 5. So let's take a moment and let's read that. And then we'll talk about it a little bit, and then we'll get into some particulars about the actual class. So Deuteronomy 6, 4 through 5. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might or strength. Okay, so that's Moses' words in Deuteronomy, and Jesus echoes that later on in the New Testament, and he points to that as the greatest commandment: love the Lord your God. Okay, so it's still applicable to us today. All right, and so what your kids are going to be learning about is how do they do the 6 things that they're asked to do in that passage. And one of them isn't a do, it's who's God, who's the Lord. So this class will be based around a 6-video word study that the Bible Project, so not the Gospel Project, the Bible Project did on this passage. And they centered their study on 6 words. So the first word was hear, Shema. Second word was the Lord. So Yahweh. Third word is love. Shall love, Ahava. Fourth word is, you can see me cheating here, I think, heart. So that's lev. Soul is nefesh. And might is me'od. So we're going to talk about those words a little bit. We're going to look at some other places in Scripture where these words are used that illustrate what they're talking about and what they want us to do. So an example, real quick, and I'll link you that study, the video study from the Bible Project, so you can look at it and you know what your kids are being taught, and you can make a decision whether they're ready for it or whether you want them to go through it or whatever. But the first word, so Shema, in the Hebrew language, there is no way of saying listen to me without saying listen to me and do what I'm telling you. And so that word is Shema, if you're saying it to someone in Shomea, if you're hearing. And so you'll love that, right? You can say to your kids, Shema, and it means listen to me and do what I'm telling you to do, okay? Because there's no other way to slice it. There's no other way to do it. And so the flip side of that is when we hear from God, when we Shomea, God, that to really do that is not only to hear what he's speaking to us and hear what he's telling us through his word, through his spirit, but to act on it. Okay? And a lot of times that's the tough part for us, isn't it? Is the acting part. We can hear him fine. We know what he wants us to do, but we act on it. So they're going to learn a little bit about that as well as the other topics that are covered in the video series. So let's get out to some particulars here. Like I said, this group will be meeting on the 3rd of February. Running for 6 weeks. So from the 3rd until, I'll put it in the email, but I don't have it right in front of me. So it'll be running from then. It'll be meeting during the 8:15 service. Now, that's a little bit early, but they get up for school and stuff. So I have every confidence that the kids will make it here. And I think that whenever they get in here and they see what we're doing, and they get a grasp for it, I think they're really going to enjoy it and they're going to want to come back. We've seen a lot of growth in the normal Next Gen ministry because of that, because they enjoy it. All right. This group will be structured as a Connect group. So there's a Connect group page for this group. And we'll have sign-ups this Sunday, so the 20th. The 20th is Connect group launch Sunday. So we'll have a sign-up sheet, get you signed up. I'll include a link to the Connect group page where you can sign your kids up. I'll get an email about it and I'll know. Also, Last thing I think that's going to be the way you're going to check your kids in for this is we're actually going to do the check-in in teaching room number 2. If I didn't mention that already, it's in teaching room number 2, not the loft. Okay, so please don't take your kids to the loft. Bring them to teaching room number 2. It's down the hall from the main office in the gym building. So I have an iPad down there and a printer and stuff, and so they can just check in there. You can check them in there. And then when you come to pick them up, you'll pick them up there. So they won't sit through worship. Probably what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of teaching, maybe on worship or whatever. We'll do something so they get that. And they're not missing out on that. But I'm kind of trying to keep this separate from next gen. So I don't want it to look like that. So people, so kids don't get up and come that aren't signed up. And so, yeah, that's the actual last one. So in order for your children to attend this, they need to be signed up. And so if they're not signed up, I'm not going to allow them to come into the class. Okay, and that may sound a little harsh, but we're not trying to start another middle school ministry for the 8:15 service right now. Okay, we're just doing a special class, so I don't want it to morph into that. So if you want your kids to come, sign them up. If they become interested in it or whatever, and later on you want to sign them up, that's fine. If they don't make it for the whole thing, that's whatever, but they need to be signed up. I can't stress that enough. And so I'll provide all that information in the email, and you'll be able to get them signed up. They'll be able to attend and learn and grow, and I'll have an opportunity to impart some of my enthusiasm and interest and knowledge on this topic to them. So I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be great. The kids have the ability to learn. They are smart. They ask great questions, and this is a great opportunity for that. If they have questions, if they have things they're not sure about, we're going to have time. We're going to be able to talk these things through, whatever they are. Come ready to discuss and come ready to learn. So I'm really excited. I'm pumped. It's going to be a great time. Your kids are going to learn a ton. And I'm probably going to learn a ton. So it's going to be good for everybody. I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed weekend. I'll see you on Sunday, and God bless.